So, Astrid, this constellation, her sentence of intention was, I want me. Interesting sentence. Seems pretty simple. I want me. In a way, the shorter the sentence, the more compressed the energy. And remember, we're talking about quantum mechanics. And quantum is all about us not being molecular, but being forms of energy. And I know it sounds sort of way out there, but actually it's not. It's not out there at all. Much of what's going on now is based on quantum mechanics, including this work. So the focus of this constellation was, who am I? And again, profound grief showed up. Profound grief. Even though she talks about how she grew up in a family that was healthy and wonderful, a good Christian family, just under the surface, driving everything, was a profound family trauma that nobody wanted to talk about, that had echoed through 2 generations and was still impacting her in a major way, in which what she felt more than anything else as a woman in Norway was, say nothing. Be gentle, be quiet, say nothing. And this constellation shows you what that did in her life for a long period of time, until she was finally ready to face the truth. And the truth emerges not in some abstract, scientific, theoretical way. It shows itself in very, very human ways. So I really recommend watching this video. I love it because also music plays a part in it. Some beautiful music, which for a long time she could not play. And also some of the most beautiful statues I've ever seen in Oslo, which had impacted her in a major way. So art plays a major part in this work, because art is, of course, just an expression of who we are.
I, for once, was really kind of clear about my intention. I decided several days before, I want me.
The intention was quite simple. If you say this in your everyday life, you will say, okay, of course, you want you, and it's an easy thing to do. But on the deeper levels of our psyche, in our trauma biography, it turns out to be extremely, extremely difficult.
Can you resonance with my eye?
Yes. Feels like I want to cover the microphone.
It's amazing when she, as a stranger, comes in, and the first thing she said, actually I should cover this mic. Nobody need to hear me. But it's just exactly to the point.
Like we mustn't be heard.
That's exactly my sentence for my whole life. It's not allowed to be heard.
I have a feeling like as if there is a hole where my navel is, and I want to hold it so it doesn't, what's inside doesn't come out through the navel.
It's like this cord is kind of pulling us together in a way.
I have a confusion here. I don't know whether it's like I love you, but I love you a little bit too much. Like I want to hold you, but then are you my mum?
I know that I have been confused about my mom.
This was the first step. This overlapping of I, mother, and I, Astrid, has to become clearer. So the trauma of love has to be cleared.
I see you, but I can't feel you.
Yeah, it's the same for me. It's this, apparently we have good contact, but in a way we don't have. I've always been thinking that we had a normal, happy family. No violence, no shouting, nothing. It's a real good Christian family, you know. When I started to do this work, I see that for me, apparently I have good contact with people, but it's no contact. And I think it was the same in my family.
It feels like a lot of good work's been done so we can communicate this.
Maybe you'd bring in another word.
Do you want to be my want?
I'm shaking, I have shivering all over me. I somehow want to hide away, thinking about I don't know what.
My attention is on her, and I don't feel emotional connection, but I'm very clear that this is the direction right now.
I've had this illusion for some years that prior to my birth, I sacrificed myself for my mother because it was difficult for her. She lost 3 babies before me, miscarriages, and if there are more, I don't know. And the first one was very special. They just gave her this little thing in a box, and nobody said. It was a boy, and she told me that she believed she killed him because she didn't want to be pregnant when my father was away. It's a lot of confusion and sorrow around these little babies.
I started to feel something, and this is sadness. I'm very, very sad here. I feel I cannot breathe.
My mother experienced incest for years, and that my grandfather, he was waiting for me too, and misused me.
Sexual perpetrators, they just follow their surviving strategies, having no compassion and no idea what they are doing. They just do it. And afterwards, in a way, they feel empty. And though there is the need for repeating it. This is why sexual traumatization is, in most of the cases, not a single act, but it's acted on over years.
He died when I was 1.5 years, so it was early.
How did he misuse you?
I have no idea, and nobody told anything about it. But it's coming again and again in these processes.
It's not a conscious memory, of course, and the baby does not even understand what's going on, what's happening, but it feels that it's not right.
I behaved like a misused child.
How was your mother misused?
I don't know anything about that either, but from the constellations it seems to be quite severe over many years.
Have you confronted your mom?
No, she died before I could do that. I'm always aware that I don't know what happened. And actually, I didn't want to talk about this sexual abuse and my mother because it has been so hidden. But I plan to let the resonance process decide what was the team here.
I feel like I want to go inside myself, to hide there and not to hear anything about this. I don't want anymore anything.
I would like to tell her it's okay.
It's too early.
When I was young, I played Chopin a lot because there are lots of feelings and I needed to know. The nocturnes, for example. And before I had to quit, I managed to play the minute waltz. That was nice. But then everything was it was really stiff from my fingertips and down here. Quite many years ago, my My body kind of just stopped. And I had a sick leave of 1 year and then back to work a little bit and then another sick leave. I couldn't move, I was dizzy all the time. My body was more and more allergic to food, and slowly I started to use the works because I found it as a most amazing thing I've been coming across. And it helped me a lot.
My stomach aches. I'm so afraid.
If there is sexual traumatization, that we have very strong parts inside ourselves that do not want to talk about it, they don't want to be, that this topic is to be touched.
I just want to escape, far away.
I understand.
No, you don't understand.
Look at me.
The scary part is that to get in contact with this reality. I've been fascinated by Vigelandsparken, the park here in Oslo. I've been there a lot. Not as a child, but as an adult. And I found a special little girl. It's my sculpture. She expresses the consequences of sexual abuse. She's standing on one leg, protecting herself in all possible ways, and it's the position that, do you think that it's impossible to stand like that for longer time?
So the want, in a way, is traumatized. That means no chance to anything what you want.
That's right.
You have to do what other want do with you, objectify you.
I'm very afraid you are gonna talk about this, or I want it like this, silent.
Yeah. And she is in a denial state, yeah, because it was too much.
I knew very well the other part that said, don't talk about it. It's my surviving strategy.
It has to be like this. Don't do anything.
No, I don't want it like this anymore.
It was a good sign for how much progress Astrid has already done in her personal work over the years, that she now could understand and say, yes, this me is there, it's a part of me, this surviving strategy is also part of me, and I can accept it, and I stay with my truth that the trauma, that the sexual trauma had happened.
I want to say to you that you don't need to hold on to me so tightly. I'm here, and you're free to move.
Thank you. I was happy that the eye could say, you don't need to cling to me. You are free to go to see her. That meant a lot.
Oh, so much. Come closer, but I'm very afraid.
It's safe now. It's safe now.
I feel so much pity for me and for you. I don't know when she appeared here, but I don't feel that she's too good to us.
She's not good to us. She's a part of us. She's me.
It doesn't make sense for me.
Doesn't make sense.
Why do you look at me?
Because you're important.
It's a contradiction between seeing the reality and having a part that denies the reality. And what do you want? Do you want to speak it out, realize or the opposite, because me behaves like the opposite.
Yeah.
And this is a split inside you. Me is a surviving strategy. Maybe copied by your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah?
She didn't speak about anything like this. Not a word.
Yeah. So you copy her surviving strategies, made it the same, made the same when you experience. So want is very important. What you want. So the focus should not be on her. No. Me was the representative of outside, the internalized outside. Don't speak, don't talk, it's shameful.
I liked her, and I certainly like you.
It helped me that she came here, but now when she sat down, I think it's not good that everybody's going down. I think you should go up, and I just stay there at your feet.
As long as anybody else is in between you, especially mother, the father, the female family, then you are split. So unconditioned, unconditioned. You want, and no outside world, in a way. Yeah.
For me to say yes, I'm willing to do this with the camera. It has been really important because I'm now deciding to focus on me and not to search for what do they want from me.
I feel some kind of power in me.
I'm just enjoying, like, the feeling is spreading, and there's a sense of filling up on.
I feel that I can rest now.
Yeah, that it's peace.
How are you now?
I feel quiet.
You feel quiet now. Yeah, so then something comes to rest also there in the surviving strategies. If you unconditionally just there for you, in contact with you. Okay, thank you.